Okay, mate. While I was out hunting, I've been seeing a lot of turmoil between King Kelly and Cali the Don. I also been seeing how much y'all love them. But mate, you forgot what I did for you? I hunted baby Sarasaurus when you needed it. I brought you BBWs. And now, I'm about to take a bite out of the shark deck, mate. You either like Outback Cali, or you're against them, mate.
What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day is going phenomenal, but if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Speaking of such, we have a shark deck profile, and it seems like Outback Cali is going to be putting in a bid for the war against King Cali and Cali the Don over what are they fighting over again? I definitely do feel like we need a little bit more lore, but until then, I want to talk to you about this shark deck that just got so much stronger from legendary Duelist Abyss. The shark deck has always been known as a budget competitive Yu-Gi-Oh strategy, and because legendary Duelist Abyss, it got some new support to completely make it even stronger. I feel like this deck is the perfect strategy for players that want to try something new and don't want to spend a whole lot, or players that are just jumping into the game and want to learn more about the Exceed mechanic. So today I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know about the Shark Water Exceed deck, whatever you want to call it. And of course, I'm going to be giving you budget options in case there are some cards you can't afford. So basically what the Shark deck is built around is Buzzsaw Shark. Actually, this monster is really important to the deck as it is a 1-card Exceed 4. It can make monsters like Bahamut Shark, which allows you to special summon Totally Awesome to your side of the field. That card is extremely good because not only does it negate an opponent's card, it can get Buzzsaw Shark back, but it also can make number 4 Stealth Kraken, a card that is phenomenal because it allows you to destroy your opponent's cards and inflict damage to them. So in order for us to get to Buzzsaw Shark as quickly as possible, there are 3 copies of Beautiful Princess and 1 copy of 141. Beautiful Princess is a card that you don't necessarily need for the deck, mainly because even without Buzzsaw Shark, this deck plays an insane amount of extenders, cards that you can just keep on summoning to your side of the field to make the rank monster that you need. Buzzsaw Shark is just the simplest way to do it because in 1 card as opposed to 2 or 3 cards that some other combos may require, it does the exact same thing, and Beautiful Princess allows us to summon Buzzsaw Shark from our deck. But with that being said, it isn't always guaranteed that we'll be able to get to Buzzsaw Shark or cards that get into Buzzsaw Shark. No worries, some other powerful cards in this deck is 3 copies of Abyss Shark. This card is flooded with opportunities. In order for a deck like this to be very successful in the current Yu-Gi-Oh card game, you need monsters that will be able to provide themselves as bodies to the side of the field, as well as do multiple things. Well, Abyss Shark not only is a body to the side of the field, it allows you to search a fish monster from your deck and then gives you game-winning potential by being able to turn a number monster into a huge damage dealer. And before you go looking side-eye at Abyss Shark thinking that it is the worst Yu-Gi-Oh card for a rank 4 deck because it's level 5, Abyss Shark can actually modify its level if you are making a number monster, which just so happens to deal an incredible amount of damage because of Abyss Shark. There's also 1 copy of Crystal Shark here. This card is excellent for the deck because not only does it fit into our level 5 monster that can be a 4, it's also a monster that we've been needing for the Shark archetype, being a card that can special summon itself from the graveyard to the side of the field, meaning that once we get this card in the graveyard, it doesn't matter how many times our opponent disrupts our Buzzsaw Shark or our monster that can summon itself, we can just bring out Crystal Shark and make a rank 4. Moving on from there, there are 2 copies of Lantern Shark in here. I actually like Lantern Shark because it is a card that can be a 3 or 5, just like some of the other Shark cards, and it special summons a water monster to our side of the field. 1 copy of Right Hand Shark. Right Hand Boy can summon himself from the graveyard and provides protection for a monster that is used for its Exceed summon. Lastly it doesn't say shark in its name, but it definitely should be a shark, is 1 copy of XYZ Remora. This card has tons of potential, being able to summon additional fish monster from your graveyard to your side of the field. but also being a free special summon in itself, this provides insane combos that if you can resolve this card's effect, more often than not, you just outright win the game. Now, these shark cards are some very powerful extenders, but unfortunately, we need more. Fortunately, there's enough, especially for the shark deck. There's 2 copies of Tingy Spirit Shathana. This is a free water special summon to our side of the field. 2 copies of Silent Sea Nettle. This card unfortunately locks us into water monsters when we summon itself to the side of the field, but the good thing about it is that it can recycle water monsters back into our deck. It does come up from time to time where we do need some extra deck monsters back into our deck, and Silent Sea Nettle can handle that situation for us. And then 3 copies of Silent Angler. Beware, if you are using the effect of Silent Angler, you won't be able to special summon from the hand for the rest of the turn. But the reason why we play 3 copies of Silent Angler is because of our spell card in White Mirror. White Mirror is phenomenal. Not only is it a monster reborn for our deck, it allows us to add a fish monster from our deck to our hand with the same name. This card allows us to make Buzzsaw Shark plus White Mirror an insane combo that I'll be able to show you a little bit later. There's also 2 copies of Ready Fusion here. Ready Fusion special summons a monster named Rare Fish, which just so happens to be a non-effect monster that Tingy Spirit Shathana can summon herself off of, which means that we can actually make a rank 4 before ever having to commit our normal summon, which could protect our Buzzsaw Shark. Lastly is 1 copy of Foolish Burial. This not only sends Crystal Shark from the deck to the graveyard, but can also send Right Hand Shark, and in some cases Silent Sea Nettle to be able to shuffle. Now moving on from there, there's actually some Yu-Gi-Oh theory, get it, that I want to discuss with you. When deck building, you can't build every single deck the exact same way. Being able to figure out the ebbs and the flows is one of the best parts of deck building. I think I should probably make a series where I do something like that, but that's on for something else. One thing I did notice when building this deck is that hand traps weren't as effective as I wanted them to be. A lot of times, especially in this meta, hand traps would slow down my opponent, but wouldn't necessarily stop them. I wanted the versatility of being able to have cards that will work not only on my turn, but also on my opponent's turn. And then I wanted cards to actually address the problematic situation, because in this particular deck, I don't want to donate cards for free. With that being said, I don't think hand traps are a bad solution for this deck, but I do play 3 copies of Forbidden Chalice. This card is amazing because a lot of times when you're going against a deck like Despia, they make Mirror Jade, and you can't hand trap your way out of a Mirror Jade, but when your opponent does activate its effect, you can Forbidden Chalice it to prevent them from banishing a monster like Buzzsaw Shark, and you kind of need your water monsters on field to be able to follow up with your extenders. There's also 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. Fortunately enough, Forbidden Droplet is getting a reprint inside of the Legendary Duelist set, but for the players that cannot afford Forbidden Droplet, you can play Dark Ruler no more. I actually especially like this card because once players get smart to the Shark strategy, they wait until you summon Bahamut Shark and then they'll try to negate it with the card. You can chain Forbidden Droplet, sending for Bahamut Shark to the graveyard to negate an opponent's additional card, meaning that you can essentially get them to waste their cards like Infinite Impermanence, Effect Veiler, or a Monster Disruption, and you get to stop an additional opponent's cards, would put you at a net plus and them at a net minus. I also run 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent here. Triple Tactics Talent I think is really good in this deck because we run 20 extenders. More often than not, if our opponent does stop one of our extenders with a card effect, we can use Triple Tactics Talent to be able to look at their hand and get rid of additional hand traps, or we can use this effect to be able to draw cards and get more extenders. 1 copy of Call by the Grave to stop hand traps, and 2 copies of Pot of Desires. And that's pretty much it for the defensive cards, but I know you have a ton of questions. Now, a big portion of me wanted to make this 42 or 43 cards and play Gozen Match. Gozen Match is completely incredible in this deck because of number 4 Stealth Kraken. It makes all monsters on the field water, and my opponent wouldn't be able to even attempt to summon a monster unless it was originally water. That is an extremely good lock, but the thing that I don't like about Gozen Match is that this card is not so great when going second. Again, I wanted the versatility of cards that were good going first and going second. Gozen Match really doesn't have that. Also, Gozen Match is only extremely good when you summon number 4 Stealth Kraken. Not saying that that's necessarily hard to do, but it does limit our options. I do still genuinely feel that I probably will play 2 Gozen Match as a 41st and 42nd card, but you guys can also drop cards if you wanted to include it inside of your main board. It is 100% at the very least a sideboard card. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was the hand trap dilemma. Now, I don't think that hand traps are bad, but if you guys are on a budget and you wanted to play hand traps, I think Nibiru is hands down the best hand trap that this deck can play. Reason why is because your number 4 Stealth Kraken can just destroy the Nibiru token, and depending on how big that Nibiru token is, your opponent could be in for a really, really bad problem. Also, if you guys are playing Nibiru and fear cards like Baron de Fleur or card effects that could just negate the Nibiru, cards that I would suggest considering playing are cards like Infinite Impermanence and Effect Veiler. Those cards are fairly cheap and budget friendly and allows your Nibiru to pop off. Moving toward the extra deck, there's one copy of number 4 Stealth Kraken. This card's actually pretty cracked. I would strongly consider playing a second. And then of course the Kraken Spawn, the special summon off the Stealth Kraken. This is essentially what the deck is built off of. Being able to turn your opponent's entire board into water monsters could disrupt some strategies, but also being able to destroy monsters on the board and inflict damage on any given turn is amazing. 2 copies of Bahamut Shark and 2 copies of Totally Awesome. This is your prime source of disruption. And then there is a 2-card combo that pretty much guarantees you the game. You'll have 2 Totally Awesomes and another powerful card. Of course, there's number C101 Silent Honor Dark. Because of the new set, we actually play some cards to make this card extremely viable. It's a great card going second. CXYZ Nephil Asylum Chaos Knight and the Nephil Asylum Heath Knight, the new cards from the Legendary Duelist set. Because we do have access to rank 5s, this card can easily be made, and it attaches cards on the field to this card. All you gotta do is attach a number 101 Silent Honor Arc, which is not hard by any means. The combo going second with this deck is to make Nephil, and then attach an opponent's monster by attaching Silent Honor Arc, make the CYXZ Chaos Nephil, and then being able to summon the number C101 Silent Honor Dark, which can then get rid of another opponent's card. It's actually ridiculous how that works. To finish this off, there's 1 copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, 1 copy of Utopic Draco Future, 1 copy of Utopic Future, and the Rare Fish. Now again, if you guys cannot afford the Utopic Draco Future or Utopic Future package, it is perfectly fine. There's actually some other extra deck cards I want to talk to you about. Baguska is really good at just ending opponents' turns in a format where Sword Soul, Punk, and Despia are very prevalent. Another copy of number 4 Stealth Kraken could never hurt. This is actually a 14-card extra deck, so if you just like one of these, you can just slam it on in there. Zodiac Borbo and Zodiac Chakanine are amazing. What you do is that you make the Zodiac Chakanine and then the Borbo on top of the Chakanine, attack your opponent directly, and congratulations, you have a 4 material Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. This card actually slaps against a lot of graveyard reliant strategies. And Drill Driver Vespinato. Those cards are actually amazing. What I like to do is when you can attack with your Bahamut Shark, you can slam the Drill Driver on top of it, and now you can attack. It also inflicts piercing damage. And what makes it really amazing is that it combos really well with XYZ Murmura. But now that we're done with the main board and the extra deck, let me show you how this Shark deck works, as it is insane. Okay, so one thing to note is that I am using the new TheCaliEffect mat. This is actually a prototype run and an old homage to the OG mats. They're not available for sale just yet, but if you go to TheCaliEffect.com, you can find other things for sale. We got some things that we are cooking for. So before I get a little bit deeper, I'm going to show you some quick combos that you need to know about this deck. One of the combos requires White Mirror and Buzzsaw Shark. This is probably the best combo for the deck. We're going to go ahead and start off by normal summoning Buzzsaw Shark, using its effect to target itself to special summon Silent Angler. Use both the Silent Angler and the Buzzsaw Shark into an Exceed summon, which are Bahamut Shark, and then Bahamut Shark detachable material before your 5th summon. You're going to make the Totally Awesome. From here, you can use White Mirror to special summon your Silent Angler, and of course, you'll add another Silent Angler from your deck to your hand. Also, because you haven't used the effect of Silent Angler, you can go ahead and special summon it to your side of the field and use both of these monsters for an Exceed summon into Bahamut Shark number 2. Detach one of your Silent Anglers to be able to special summon Totally Awesome number 2, and now use both of your Bahamut Sharks. We're not locked into anything here. Oh, other than Exceeds, we're going to make Utopic Draco Future by using the Utopic Future and both our Bahamut Sharks. And that is how in 2 cards, we're actually up to make a really good combo. If Totally Awesomes, when they leave the field and go to the graveyard, we can have both Buzzsaw Shark and a Silent Angler for an excellent extension. And of course, we have 3 additional cards left in our hand But by the time that this board is gotten rid of, we'll have 5 cards in our hand to be able to start over, reload, and break whatever our opponent made. So for the next combo, I'm actually going to explain why I play that one copy of XYZ Remora. It actually does make a huge combo situation, but it's also a really good extender under the right circumstances. I'm going to go over through a normal combo line and show you. We're going to start off with a Buzzsaw Shark, a Lantern Shark, and of course our Abyss Shark. This is going to show you that with enough extenders, you can be able to play through your opponent's disruption. I'm going to go ahead and start off by normal summoning Lantern Shark. If they stop the Lantern Shark, we can just special summon the Abyss Shark and keep comboing. But normally they'll stop the Bahamut Shark. So I'll special summon Buzzsaw Shark, and then Buzzsaw Shark will special summon Right Hand Shark to my side of the field. This is my 4th summon. That'll be the Bahamut Shark here. And if my opponent doesn't stop it, then they can't Nibiru me, which is a card that we probably shouldn't be too worried about because the players still aren't playing that card. But let's say we'll detach one material and our opponent will negate with our Bahamut Shark. What we can do from here is actually special summon our Abyss Shark by targeting or by having water monsters, and then use that to get XYZ Remora. From here, we'll go ahead and Exceed summon with both of these monsters into our number 4 Stealth Kraken, and then I'll use XYZ Remora to be able to detach the 2 materials from the Kraken to summon itself to the side of the field. And then of course, I can go ahead and special summon the Buzzsaw Shark and the Right Hand Shark. Buzzsaw Shark and the Right Hand Shark into a second Exceed summon into Bahamut Shark, detaching 1 material to be able to summon Totally Awesome right here. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use these 2 for our Utopic Draco Future line because Abyss Shark does lock us to being able to only summon water monsters for the duration of the turn. But this is an extremely good follow-up. We have 2 disruptions with Stealth Kraken and Totally Awesome, as well as some good follow-up with Bahamut Sharks if they are staying on the field. But now that we're done with that, let's go over some test hands. It's going to be really exciting to see what exactly I'll show you today with the Shark deck. And if you guys want to see more test hands, be sure to join my Patreon, guys. I'm going to post some test hands up there just exclusively for my Patreon. We're going to go ahead and start off by opening Lantern Shark, Silent Angler, Silent Sea Nettle, and a Ready Fusion. This hand is all gas, and we will not be denied with this particular hand. That comes with the territory of playing this deck from time to time. What I'm going to do right here is immediately activate the Ready Fusion, and the reason why I'm activating Ready Fusion first is because once I use the effect of Lantern Shark, I'm going to be locked into just Exceed summons. I'll normal summon Lantern Shark will special summon the Silent Sea Angler, and then with both of these monsters, I will be able to special summon my very first Bahamut Shark wherever I put that card. Here we go, Bahama Mama. Bahama Mama will then activate her effect to be able to special summon Totally Awesome. And then I can special summon my second Silent Angler using both of these monsters for the Exceed summon into Bahamut Shark number 2. Bahamut Shark being able to detach to be able to summon Totally Awesome number 2. And I'm not locked into anything right here. I can go ahead and use both of these monsters for an Exceed summon into my Utopic Draco Future. So 3 negates here with the ability to be able to get 2 of my water monsters back to my hand, which will be the Lantern Shark and the Silent Angler. And then of course on my next draw, I guess I didn't shuffle too well because I'm drawing nothing but extenders. Let's go ahead and get into another test hand to show you how good this deck can be though. In my next test hand, I'm gonna draw Abyss Shark, Pot of Desires, Ready Fusion, Foolish Burial, and a White Mirror. It is actually really good, as I would 100% start off by using Foolish Burial to be able to send my Right Hand Shark from the deck to the graveyard. And then I would then follow up by activating Ready Fusion here, almost called it Instant Fusion, to be able, oh, actually, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that. I'd summon my Right Hand Shark first and then activate my Ready Fusion. Callie, you be tripping sometimes. Into my Rare Fish. This way I can actually go ahead and Exceed summon into a Bahamut Shark into Totally Awesome without committing my normal summon. I'm gonna do just that. Right Hand Shark and Rare Fish into the Bahama Mama right here, and then Bahama Mama detaching the Rare Fish to be able to summon Totally Awesome. Now I can go ahead and do the Moment of Truth, Pot of Desires here, guys. Will it be worth it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Oh my, wow, that is ridiculous. Let's see what we banished here. Does it even matter? Wow, never punished, never. I don't like losing the Crystal Shark. That is our only one of, but never punished here. Again, not drawing the Buzzsaw Shark isn't necessarily a problem here. I'm gonna go ahead and normal summon Lantern Shark. Use Lantern Shark to be able to special summon Silent Sea Angler because I don't wanna be locked into not being able to special summon from the hand for the rest of the turn because of my Abyss Shark. I'm then gonna go ahead and use it into Bahamut Shark number 2. Bahamut Shark number 2 will detach the Lantern Shark to be able to summon our Totally Awesome. And then we will use both our Totally Awesome and Bahamut Shark for an Exceed summon. We will Exceed summon into our Utopic Draco Future. And this does cut off the line of our Abyss Shark, but I think that this is pretty good. We can then follow up by using the White Mirror if we so choose to summon Silent Angler, add another Silent Angler from our decks to our hand, and then summon the Silent Angler to our side of the field. And again, this is if we so choose. We don't have to keep going this far, but we could use that for an Exceed summon of an Abyss Dweller, or just make the Stealth Kraken here. This is an amazing going first combo, but then keep in mind, guys, we'll draw a card for our turn, and we'll be able to cycle 2 cards from our graveyard to our hand. Is there any cards? I'd probably take this one if this whole board somehow got white. And we have a hand of 4 cards and still being able to special summon monsters like Right Hand Shark on our opening play, which allows us to get into the game. Crockett, mate. Callie did a pretty good job at explaining how we the big fish in the pond. This is the real tuna you need to watch out for. I don't ocean us losing to any deck, especially when it comes to Don Callie or even King Callie's arsenal. I hunt animals and I'm kind of evil, so don't tell nobody.